What's going on? Back at it, man. Back at it. What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody is well. The Colorado Buffaloes, they're beefing up. There's one thing I know that they can do is beef up their wide receiver room. That's one thing I know that they can do. Everything else, I'm not sure, but I know the wide receivers, they pretty much could do that. So they acquired. I was surprised. This was a guy that I was looking at in the portal. I was like, I don't know if he's on their radar. Apparently he was, Danny Scudero. Apparently he was on their radar. And he kind of reminded me of this wide receiver. He was a wide receiver there with Cam Ward when he was at Miami. He kind of reminded me of that dude. I forget his name. But it seemed like a pretty decent pickup there for the wide receivers. They're beefing up their receivers. And so that's one thing they're going to have, a running game and receivers. But I don't know about their defensive front. I'm not sure. But I will give them credit when credit is due. The wide receiver front looks pretty good. But Neely wasn't lying when he said we getting these people on a budget. He wasn't lying about that. Because I'm looking at the schools they coming from. They're getting these people on a budget, I'm pretty sure. But if these people come here and ball out next season, they're going to leave. At least I think. But they looking to be okay as far as what they have for the two receivers that especially Danny Scudero. I was looking at him. I had just came across who he was maybe a few days ago. And I was looking at his highlights and stuff like that. I was like, maybe this is somebody, because I saw that he was in the portal. I was like, maybe this is someone that they could probably snag up, and maybe do some good things next season. And then sure enough, they snagged him. And yeah, man, they snagged him up. And here we are. No, he's not number one in the nation. You talking about number one. Oh, yeah. As far as stats, yeah, that's a pretty good pickup. But he wasn't the number one wide receiver in the portal, though. He wasn't. But yes, he did pick up some really good stats. He really did. He reminds me of that. I forget the name of that wide receiver from Miami that was there with Cam Ward. I forget his name right now. He reminds me of somebody like that. Like, he can play. So for sure, they're beefing up that wide receiver room. It's one thing I know, Colorado get good receivers. That's one thing I know since Coach Prime has been there. They know how to go get the receivers. So we got a pretty decent quarterback. He needs some receivers, and he would, to add on to what he already has. And they're gonna have to maybe beef up that offensive line a little bit. And what else? That they really got to need work on defense. And I was thinking they were going to land some like superstars out of the portal, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're looking for people that's on the come up to where they ain't got to pay them that much. That wants to come here and ball out and stuff like that. But we'll see. The portal is just getting started, so a lot of the big dogs are getting snagged up right now, though. So we'll see if they can get some of these big dogs to come in. I know they're likely taking their time with visits, right? But like I said, the portal is just getting started. So people are going on their visits and stuff like that. But there's a pattern here. We're like losing players to the SEC, and we're not getting players back from the SEC. For me, that's problematic. So, like I said, people are starting to get excited now. This is how it is every season, man. I'm not getting excited this year. I'm not getting excited this year. I'm not. I know FCS has good talent that goes to the NFL for sure. But we're talking about the players that's leaving. Oh, he's garbage. He's lazy. Well, how is he with an SEC team if he's garbage and he's lazy? You know what I'm saying? Something like, the thing is, like, it's okay, but I'm not. They have to show me this year. This is the show me year because I'm not too excited about the portal so far. I'm not. Okay, you're excited about a running back coming in, but we had Dallin Hayden that's leaving. So I'm not really excited this off season. I'm not. I'm being honest with you. I'm not feeling them. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling what the coaches are doing. I'm being honest with you. I'm not feeling it. You said they're gonna go to a 3-3-3-5 defensive scheme. I know, Keith. I'm not feeling it though. I'm just not feeling it. They lost me now. They really lost me. Yeah, I'm definitely not feeling it. Well, I'm not talking about defense. I know they need to improve on defense. That's one thing, Keith, they need to improve on. I'm just like, I'm not hating on them. They just gonna have to show me this year. That's it. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have to show me. Yeah, love you 1 minute. Like when the players came in last year, oh man, we got this person coming in. We got this person coming in. And now everybody like, oh, he's lazy, this and that, blah, blah, blah. But he's headed to the SEC. What do you mean he's lazy? If you have even a talk with Ole Miss, you can still play. You can still play, man. And but like somebody told me, Max, well, Indiana turned it around in a year. I mean, we're gonna have to debate on that. I think it took them a couple years. But if you're gonna go there, yeah, anything is possible. Colorado could turn this thing around in a year. But these receivers that they bringing in, I say Draylon is the same. But see, he's the same because we're looking at Draylon's ceiling. Where is he gonna be at his senior year if you get him his touches? Where would Omarion be at his senior year if you get him all his touches? We're losing some really good players, and like I want some SEC dogs. I'm sorry, yo, I do. I want some SEC starters, yo, straight up. For me to be okay with this, I'm not okay with it. But I'm not saying nothing. Anything is not possible. Anything is possible. It is. Anything is possible. I will give them that. Anything is possible, but you're not gonna say that this team that's coming up is better than last. I'm not. You're gonna have to show me this year. I'm sorry. It's not the consequence of a 3-3-9. Not that's not it. That's not it. That's not why That's not why I'm not feeling them. That's not it. It's just some of the players that are leaving are high quality, and people are telling me that they're not. Well, if he's not high quality, how did he have a meeting with Ole Miss if he's not high quality? I know talent is everywhere, but it don't seem like we're getting equal back. It don't seem like it. It don't seem like it right now. But like I said, you're gonna have to prove it. Now the thing is, I give them credit where credit is due. Scudero is pretty good. So I was looking at him already. I didn't think he was going to get him. So he's pretty good. And the other kid, that's coming in from Miami, Ohio. He's good too. I mean, Draylon. That's who I was talking about. Draylon or Marion. Um, no, trust me, they don't want this channel around. Like, I'm not like one of those channels that I'm really down the middle. I'll give you your props where props is due, and I'm not afraid to tell the truth here. It seemed like they're in a rush just to get players, fam. They gonna sign anybody, bro. I mean, that's just what it is. But they did get it right with the receivers. They did get it right with the receivers. But some of the players coming in, I don't know, man. I guess it'll be better than last. They couldn't stop the run last year, so it should be better than last year. Anything is better than last year. But this is not. I'm not getting my hopes up with this team. I'm not getting my hopes up. But anyway, the portal is still early. It's still early, and anything can happen. It's still early. I got a head nod. Like I nodded my head to Scudero and the kid from Miami, Ohio, because he reminded me of LeJontay Wester. Yeah, I'm talking about Restrepo. Thank you. That's who he reminds me of. And I watched this film. I said, okay. And Restrepo made it to the NFL. So I'm like, okay, I like that. I like the guy from Miami, Ohio. Really, I really like him because he has the same stats as LeJontay Wester when he came in. And he also has great separation ability from the film I've been watching. He's really good. He's going to start right away. The kid from Miami of Ohio. But if I'm not going to sit there and hype this team like they're going to be at the top of the Big 12, that's not happening. They're going to be at the bottom of the Big 12. Unless they make some serious moves, they're going to be at the bottom. And like I said, I would say this is a mid-tier team. I'm not going to say totally at the bottom, but they might. They might be at the bottom. I'm not going to hype them up. The last time I hyped them up, I was right. That's when they had Travis and them still there. That was a really good team, and I was right about that. I said they have a lot of NFL players, and people doubted me. They said, no, they don't. They just got Travis, and that's it, and Shador. I said, no, they got more NFL players than that. They got Jimmy and LeJontay. People laughed at me, say, no, Jimmy ain't no NFL. He dropped balls all the time. I said, no, he's an NFL player. I said the reason why he's not getting all the because Travis commanded a lot of the attention. He commanded a lot of the plays, which is rightfully so because he's a big playmaker. But there wasn't enough ball to go around. There wasn't enough football to go around for everybody. But when he did, he made his stuff count because there was one game that Jimmy won it for us when he did that little juke move and dived into the end zone. He won that game for us. And I never forget that. I said he's an NFL player. He run routes like nobody's business. I said the same thing about Caleb Mathis, but they're not using him. They're not using him. I said the same thing when I say about Jimmy. I could spot talent. I could spot it. They're not using Caleb. They need to use him. Okay? And the thing is, they're good with their receiver room. I'm telling you, their receiver room is going to be top notch this year, just like every year. But I said to that team when Travis and them the second year, I said, that's an NFL team. I'm not saying that this year. I'm saying they're going to be at the bottom of the Big 12. They are. I'm never wrong about it. Until if I see the complete roster, then I will come back and give it my stamp again. And watch, people going to argue with me. No, Max, because they're going to hype this team up because they're media hype. They're going to hype the team up, and I'm going to be right there and say, no, guys, this is not it. I would say more than half of the players that left this time, they're headed to the NFL, including Otis, including him too. NFL. And you might like, no, Max, he ain't do nothing for us. Something happened in the locker room. Like I said, something happened. Something happened and he like, fuck it. I said the same thing about Tank. I can go find the video. I said Tank is headed to the NFL. Y'all said, no, he can't even block for Shador. I said he doing it on purpose. He doing it on purpose. But he's headed to the NFL, and guess where he is? He's on the NFL roster. Something is going on with these coaches. And if they don't correct it, it's not going to get corrected. It's not going to get corrected. Now, at this point, going into the fourth year, I'm telling you guys, this is a rebuild team. This is not it yet. Unless they wow me. You said the locker. Look, I'm getting tired of they sending people, man. They sending people my way. Y'all spamming me, and then y'all gonna send y'all people my way. No, y'all at the bottom of the Big 12. Okay, that's not up for debate. You guys are at the bottom of the Big 12. You need to land some superstars. Okay, just like that top receiver that's in the portal right now. If y'all got him, then I'll shut up. I'll be quiet. If you get some of them offensive linemen from Michigan, I will be quiet. If you get that offensive lineman that just went into the portal, I forget his name right now. He looked like a pro wrestler. If you get him, I'll be quiet. These are people that will start anywhere, and they already been proven. I'm not talking about somebody that's coming from a lower division that we don't know what they're going to do yet. Because y'all was sitting there, we including myself, we were bigging up that quarterback last year that came in, and we got disappointed. I'm not doing that this year. They will have to show me this year. Okay? They'll have to show me this year, and I'm being honest. I'm not really that impressed with this portal so far. However, I am impressed with the two wide receivers they got coming in. The guy from Miami, Ohio, he reminds me of LaJohntay Wester, and this kid here reminds me of Restrepo from Miami. So they do have some good wide receivers, but they always have good wide receivers. They do. Okay, it seemed like they purposely have people coming into chats trying to tell us what we're not seeing. You're not gonna sit up here and tell me this kid is garbage and he going back to the SEC. You're not telling me this. And then some people come in the chat and say, "Well, Tafik is going to a lower division." No, he's not. He was just at Texas Tech, and now he has an interview at Tennessee. You know he going to Tennessee because Hood just left from there. So I'm assuming he going to Tennessee now. That's what I'm assuming. Because Hood off to the NFL. Somebody came into the chat one time and said, Hood ain't really all that, Max, so we ain't losing nothing. Well, why is he going to the NFL then? Nah, man, y'all ain't doing this to me this year. No, sir. I don't want no, yeah, I said, Rich, I don't want no rejects. I want some superstars. Apparently they got two. I'm not going to lie to you. Them receivers is good. So I will give credit where credit is due. The receivers are good, but you always got good receivers. It ain't nobody on that defense that they acquired yet that I'm excited about. Not one. Not yet. Not one. But could they come there and represent? Yes, they could. They could come and represent. They could come and represent and be all Americans. I hope so. They could come represent and be all Americans, then I'll shut up. And then I want people to, you know what I want people to say to me after next season? Max, I told you so. Remember you said they're going to be at the bottom of the Big 12? Nah, they're at the top of the Big 12. I hope y'all say that to me. Look I hope y'all say that to me. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of 5 stars in the portal right now that are labeled 5 stars. I'm not talking about high school 5 stars, industry 5 stars. Let's get some of them. Because they see these players could play anywhere. That's like a Caleb Downs. Remember when Caleb Downs hit the portal? He had 5 stars all across the board. 5 star. Not high school 5 star, industry 5 star. Those players could play literally anywhere. Anywhere. These are like NFL bound players. Yeah, I know you said that before. You said you think the Buffs are going to the 3-3-5 defense. They may not have the money that somebody, because you can't really believe what you hear. Somebody said their budget is 20 to 25 million. I don't believe that. I don't believe that because Coach. You remember when Coach said we got to go swipe the credit card? Remember he said that after the second season. No, he said it after the first season. After the first season, we got to go swipe the credit card. He knows exactly you need money. So I don't know if they have it. I know people say they do. I don't think they have it like that. You know what I'm saying? Because if that's the case, then I understand. You got to get what you can get. If it's a money situation, then I understand it. You gotta play the hand you dealt. You gotta, do what you gotta do. You say Colorado paying these FCS players 100K each, and for FCS, they may not have been making that at their other school. Now, here's my question though. Out of the 100K, do they have to pay their tuition out of that? That's my question to you after the game. Because if not, that's not that. Because how much the tuition is there? Now, wait a minute. Hold up. Is it good money or not? Now, out of that money, do they have to pay their own tuition? That's my question to you. Because you got to minus out taxes too, but the tuition can offset those taxes. So my question is, do they have to pay their own tuition? After the game, do you know? Because I heard when Neely was talking, he said ain't nobody caring about scholarships no more because they getting enough money to pay their own tuition. He said this. No, that's not what Neely said. He said some of these players making so much money. For him, if they give a player $100,000 to Neely, that's a lot of money. I'm telling you it is. I can tell where he's talking. And he said out of that, you pay your own tuition. But what if the tuition for that year is like $40,000? So now you're looking at 60,000, which some of the tuition will offset your taxes, but you still got to pay taxes though, even though the tuition is offsetting it a little bit. Trust me, I know taxes. I know. Now, if they are paying their tuition, then I could see that. But for some players, I don't think so. I think they're paying their own way. And where they'll get like a NIL deal to pay for the tuition. You get what I'm saying? They might get a like a endorsement where the endorsement pays their tuition. I don't think all of them are on scholarships though. But if that's the case, then I can see it. Now to get $100,000 to play the sport that you love, that's a blessing. I don't care what nobody say, even after taxes. Now that might not be enough for you to go get a Hellcat. Well, actually, it might, but you stretching it thin, you're gonna be broke with those car notes. I know somebody right now. A friend of mine, her son is being recruited. He going into his senior year in high school. When I tell you he already looked like Tony Gonzalez, I'm not lying to you. He's a tight end. He looks just like Tony Gonzalez. And people, I remember this one team, she got offended. This one team, when he was playing, they was like, we need to check his birth certificate. Did you know she went over to that coach? She said, F you, that's my son. And if you want to see his goddamn birth certificate, I'll show you. And he was like, no, ma'am, I'm just giving him credit. She said, that's not how you said it. You're trying to say that we're cheating. You're trying to say that we kept him back 3 years. She said, my son is on track to graduate early. He said he's just big. She said he's like my dad. You know what I'm saying? It's just genetics. Yeah, man. They trying to say that they kept him back 3 years. I mean, 2 years. That's how big he is, man. She was telling me that, when they went on these visits, these players' cars and all this stuff, they talked to one player. He's spending like over $1,000 on his car note. She was like, damn, these kids getting paid like that? I was like, yeah, some of them are. But if they just don't really have the money at Colorado like that, then I understand why some of these players are leaving. Because Neely said that if somebody is offering you $300,000, he said, I'll pack the bags for you. So he thinks 100,000 is a lot of money. He does. Because I'm listening, you have to pay attention when people talk. He said, if somebody offer you like 300,000, I'll help you pack your bags. So maybe to Colorado, 300,000 is a lot of money. And they're not there yet to compete with the other schools. So I don't want nobody getting their hopes up too high. You know what I'm saying? You have to go with what your budget allows. So if some of these kids are leaving because of the money, I understand. It's not a big deal. It's just, if you balled out this season and a team is going to offer you 8 to 900,000, yeah, I don't see you'll be a fool not to take it. You'll be a fool because you don't know if you get into the NFL or not. You could take some of that money and invest it, especially if they offer to pay your tuition as well. That's a good payday, and after taxes, you can invest the money, and you could set yourself up for after you graduate. You'll be doing pretty good if you set it up right, and be careful buying all these Mopar cars. So you'll be doing really good. But I know for a fact one of the players, it wasn't for the money. It wasn't that. Um, but that's neither here nor there. I know every team goes through it. Every team gonna lose certain this and that. But you got to go with what you got. I mean, if we don't have the budget like that, don't have a budget like that. It's just I'm like, damn it, do they got the budget or not? Because if you have if they're correct in saying that they have a budget of 20 to 25 million, they don't act like it. They're not going to get the premier players. They're not. No, he's not on the staff at CU, but he's an insider. He said it. He said he dictates on what information that he's going to let out. And Coach Prime liked it. You know that clip that he said? Coach Prime liked it. So that means that he's telling the truth. If Coach liked it, I wouldn't have liked something if somebody is speaking for me and they speaking out of place. I would tell them about it. So I'm like, yo, bro, you can't speak for me. Okay. So he is looked at as an insider. I know people don't think so, but yeah, I look at him as an insider. And he said if somebody offer you 400,000, he said, I'll pack your bags for you. You'll be a fool to turn down that money. Yeah, but if you guys got access to 20 to 25 million, you got money too to keep the players. So I don't think they got the money. I don't, which is okay because you need some investors. You need some whales. You need a whale to come in. To drop huge, because when they donate, it's a tax write off, right? So if they drop 40 million, that's a tax write off to these billionaires. So now you got that money to play with. Now you can really go buy a team. That's why Indiana and all of them are that good. And also they know how to recruit. They get the right players. But they spending money too. Go look at the kids' valuation. They spending money over there. And I looked at the valuation for their offensive linemen. Go look at Indiana. Go look at the offensive line valuation. It's all 500 or better. I mean, all of them, 500 or better. So yeah, they got some money over there. So that's important as well. And then also the recruiting. But shit, you got to work with what you work with. But I'm being honest, man. Like, I'm like that this season. Like, I don't know. But hey, man, I'm holding on. Hopefully they have a really good season. They got Mark Cuban over there, I heard. Indiana. You said they got some old ass players. Hey, man, I know what you're saying. They got some players that's been there over 5 years. I know. I know they do. Especially the offensive line. The offensive line need to go help Cam Ward out in Tennessee. But see, they not trying to leave school when somebody paying you $500,000 a year. It ain't no reason to leave school. For what? They leaving millionaires. So yeah, I'm gonna play to my fifth season. A second year grad student, of course. I know they did, Donovan. I saw that. I know they got him. Trust me, I'm not just watching CU. I'm watching the other schools because I'm getting sore by the minute. Every time somebody land a big dog, I'm like, man, F them, man. You don't like that. I'm hating now. Now I'm hating. I'm turning into a hater. This is the makings of a hater. F Indiana, man. You know what I'm saying? With their little budget over there. F them, man. I'm not happy with Indiana. Well, he has a OC this year in the DC. He has a defensive coordinator. He came from the NFL, didn't he? We weren't saying nothing when Travis won that Heisman about him. Because you know my theory on that, right? Good players can make you look good. So I think the defensive coordinator is fine. I don't think that's the problem. I honestly don't. But I don't know. I could be wrong, though. Maybe it is. Y'all think it is? I don't know. But yeah, I'm looking at the portal, seeing these people getting crystal ball. I'm like, Tafik at Texas Tech. I don't like it. I don't like it. But I'm happy for him. But damn, Texas Tech. And he got somewhere at Tennessee. Max, do you know where is it ranked right now? Well, where was it ranked last year? You said, yeah, Travis and them had them dogs. Well, you're right. They had Chidozie there and everything. So yeah, see, you had a really good situation. You said, told you go works best with wide receivers. Yeah, you said it. Yeah, you did say it. No, he's not calling the plays, Donovan. That's up to his coordinators. Some coaches do. Some coaches have a huge say so in it. You know, they have that card in their hand and they be sitting there like talking to their coaches. No, I need another play. No, I need this. I need that. Some do. Some are doing that. Willingham does that. Just to name one. The Oregon coach does it. You said, what do you think Coach Prime top three roles and responsibilities are? He's like the CEO of the thing. They put a scheme together and he approves it, whether he likes it or not. He's like the facilitator. That's the job of the head coach. Now, some head coaches are more hands-on with the play calling. Um, but you're only as good as your staff, really. Like if your staff is not doing their job, then things could fall apart. Um, so it's really the offensive coordinators, and also it's the personnel that you have on the field. If the personnel gives up, which I think they did this past season, and they didn't care, then you're not going to win that way. Now, my question is, why did they do that? Was there something going on in the locker room? Now, according to what's his name, T. Cal, he said it was because of the quarterback situation that messed the locker room up. Now, I don't know. That's secondhand information. But he's sitting over there. Now he's a tea dropper. He over there dropping tea. That's what he's doing. And I'm like, it's unfortunate because if he can help the squad out with recruiting, why don't he do that? If he can help coach out, man, he a brother at the end of the day, man. Like if you see the brother need help and you see some players out there and you analyze them, help the brother out, let him know about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, dropping tea and all that. I mean, don't get me wrong, he has a reason for doing what he's doing. Because it ain't no love lost over there on his end. So I don't know. I can't speak for him. But my thing is, if he can help the brother out, help him out, man. Like it don't matter if he didn't like how you were talking about Shador. That's his son at the end of the day. Because he said Shador can't read 3-5 defense. Well, if Prime feel a certain type of way about it, you got to understand that that's his son. He gonna stick up for his son at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So if he felt some type of way about you, then you don't hold grudges on that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has improvements they need to make. He may not have been good at it, but that's something that Shador could work on. He's not a bad quarterback, and maybe he felt some type of way because you're supposed to be talking about Colorado and you making his son look bad. So that could have been it. And then you say you didn't want to take the job. You don't have to take the job. You could say, look, I got some players I need you to look at. Because obviously you're right, because you were right about D'Angelo Pons. You were right about him. You were right. You were right. I was watching you when you brought up D'Angelo Pons. You were absolute, but guess what? He followed the Indiana coach. So I don't know if CU was going to have an opportunity to get him because he followed his coach to Indiana. Okay, so I don't know if CU had an opportunity to get him if they wanted him. But then you shared a receipt saying that Coach Prime want people 5'11" or taller. Now we know D'Angelo Pons is not 5'11". Stuff like that needs to stay behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Like It's just to make coach look bad. It's making him feel like he's incompetent, and I don't know why y'all doing that. I don't like. I mean, let's make them other people look bad, not us internally. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel about it. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think we could have landed D'Angelo Pons because he followed his coach to Indiana. I'm thinking he was more so leaning towards Indiana the whole time. But he could have. I know he did talk about Colorado. It was a possibility. And let me tell you something. If sometimes it's systems make players, maybe he wouldn't have worked out at Colorado. I don't know. But he damn sure is All American at Indiana. He's All American. Everybody knows that he's an All American. But I don't know if we could have got him. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, he could be wrong about players, exactly. But the thing is, he said, he said, he stands on it. He said he ain't nobody doing this how he doing it. That's how he said it. And he said, I'm like, if that's the case, then help coach out then. You said he wanted to go to Colorado? Damn, Tremaine. Hold on. You said he wanted to go to Colorado? Damn. Yeah, we lost out on the All American. But the thing is, hindsight is 2020. Hindsight is always 2020, man. If coach knew, if he could see in his crystal ball and saw that this kid was going to be a consensus All American 2 years in a row, he would have picked him up. He would have picked him up, man. You said the shorter guys play nickel in the NFL. Oh, okay. You said, yeah, but this not the NFL though. This college. You know what I'm saying? This kid is going to the NFL though. He's going to the NFL as a cornerback. D'Angelo Pons. He's gonna get his shot in the NFL. Now, whether he do good in the NFL, I'm not sure, but he gonna get his shot. You said you can't talk to Prime about CBs any other position. All right, he knows 5'10" cornerback. He said a 5'10" cornerback is a liability. Yeah, I heard he might be going to Texas Tech. He had a visit up there. He also has a visit somewhere else as well, but it looked like it might be Texas Tech. Now, don't get me wrong. As far as cornerbacks is concerned, yeah, you can't talk to coach about no cornerbacks. I'm sorry, he's not listening to you. He's the best cornerback in NFL history, so he's not going to listen to you. He's not. But see, the thing is, that could be to his detriment. They could be. This is not when he used to play. This is a new day and age. You have to adapt to what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you got to adapt. If he's not willing to adapt and he said, I'm right, everybody wrong, okay, well, we going to see this season. You know what I'm saying? Because I guarantee you he's going to have his hand in everything this season. He not playing. You know what I'm saying? You might see him on that sideline with his play calling. You might see it. You might see it. You say he's a mastermind. He's a mastermind how he got that team together in year two, for sure. They had a lot of NFL players on that team. Now you don't have them no more. See, I'm telling you, good players can make up for deficiencies. They can. You had Travis, Chidozie, Shiloh, Silman Craig, okay? Travis again, okay? You had BJ Green on defense. You had the kid that transferred to Alabama. Okay, you had the kid that came in from Clemson. Yes, that could make up for a lot. They had an NFL squad, guys. They really did, really did. And then on offense, you were loaded on offense, even though you had deficiencies on the offensive line. Your players were so good that it made up for the deficiencies on the offensive line. It made up for it. Imagine if you guys had an offensive line like Notre Dame. They would have won the Big 12 if they had that. Because Shador would have really got busy. Okay? Now, even though some people knock Shador for holding on to the ball too long and this and that, he still was missed, though. We missed him greatly. We missed him. Because they didn't have it right at the quarterback position this year. They went with the transfer when they probably should have went with the rookie. But see, the thing is, they're in their head, they not gonna listen to nobody. They should have went with the rookie. But you can't tell them nothing. I can tell you right now, you can't tell them coaches nothing. I can tell you this. You can't tell them nothing. They NFL people, they know more than you. You can't tell them nothing. Okay? So you can't tell them nothing. But I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna tell you what they'll say right now if they're listening. Who the fuck is he? Who the fuck is he, man? Who the fuck is he to tell me like we shouldn't have played the other kid? He don't know nothing. That's how they feel. You should have played the rookie. You should have played him the whole season. You should have played him after week 4 at least. Or maybe after week, because it wasn't working. The kid had a deer in headlights. Everybody saw it. You can't tell these coaches nothing. That's why I'm telling you right now, as it stands right now, they're going to be in the bottom of the Big 12. I'm telling you this. Easy. Bottom of the Big 12, bro. They're in the bottom of the Big 12, man. You can't say that. I hope this is not the case, but you can't say you don't want a player like Hill Green. You don't want him. Let him go. That means you're going to be in the bottom of the Big 12. That's what it means. You had some really good players. They had some really good players on the team. Um, but it just didn't come together. So maybe it could be the scheme, it could be the coach. But some of the players are saying that they weren't prepared. The coaches wasn't there. Some of the coaches weren't available. That's what they're saying behind the scenes. The coaches weren't available. They had questions about the defense and the coaches weren't there. They had to go elsewhere. So they said, fuck it. The coaches gave up, we gave up. So it's just what it is, man. It's the coach is gonna have to fix it. They're gonna have to be, if that means they have to be present, they have to be present. You know the thing is about Warren Sapp, he can call plays. He can. I don't know if you guys ever see him break down defenses. He's one of the best to do it on his Instagram. The way he talks about defenses and way he breaks stuff down, he's one of the best to do it. Remember, he was also an analyst. He was an analyst for a reason. He knows football. Um, Also, he used to train NFL athletes when they got to the NFL. He used to do private training. I know this. Okay. I know he probably could have went to the University of Miami to coach with Jason Taylor. I know he could have, but he's staying at Colorado. He may have to just overstep his bounds and say something. I don't think the coaches feel like they could say something there. I don't think so. Okay. He needs to say something because he actually, guys, I'm gonna tell you something. He's like a defensive specialist in his mind. He is, but you're not gonna see it because he maybe he don't feel like he could say anything. Guys, I'm telling you for what I know, he's a defensive specialist. He's been like that since college. Go look at a YouTube film, a video of him breaking down film. He does it like none other. But I don't feel like he can do it at Colorado. Coach Prime has a polarizing presence. And I don't feel like people feel like they could overstep what he's saying. And that's gonna be put him at the bottom of the Big 12. If it's still like that, he's gonna be at the bottom of the Big 12. He gotta let these people fly, man. You Warren Sapp, see, you guys think that he can't coach. That's not the case. He can coach. Guys, he's been breaking down film since T. Cal was a baby. T. Cal doesn't know this. He doesn't know this. He thinks that he know more than Sapp. No, he don't. This guy can break down film like none other. He doesn't know that because he was a baby when this was happening. He doesn't remember. You know what I'm saying? But I kind of feel some type of way. He's like, man, ain't nobody on there can talk defense. I said, dude, you don't know Warren Sapp. Yes, he can. What you mean he taught Ray Lewis, so he says? How old are you? How old are you? How old are you? Let me know your age, yo. You can't be older than me for saying that. You can't be older than me because he did teach him. Yes, he did. Now, how old are you? If you don't, if you for you saying that. You said so he says. Guys, let me tell you something. Age don't make a difference. You need to go study the actual game. I'm talking about the history of football. And you're gonna know that he did. He's like what you call a defensive, he's like a savant when it comes to defense. The way he breaks down film, he's like a savant. He knows the tendencies of every play. He said, see how that player is stepping in? He's doing a jab step. He said, that's a run play. He said, I can tell it's a run play because of the way the receiver is giving it away. He said, if I was coaching that receiver, I would tell him never to do that again because the linebacker, somebody like Ray Lewis, is looking at you. All it takes for Ray Lewis to pick up on that, and he knows that it's a run play. Travis did the same thing when he was watching his brother Travis play. He said, damn, he gave up the play because he knew it was a run play the way Travis was lined up. Stuff like that, people don't know about Sapp because maybe he's not allowed to do it there. Maybe he's not. But my thing is, he needs to speak up. He needs to be, listen, guys, for him, for him not to run that defensive line by himself, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just maybe he feel like he can't do it, but he need to go to Miami then. He need to go back to Miami. Because I guarantee if he was at Miami, he'll be doing it with Jason Taylor. I'm telling y'all for what I know. He's a defensive specialist. I know this for a fact. All right, I'm back. So I'm telling you, for him not to have a big say so in that defense and their scheme, he's wasting his time. And I think because of the way he acts, people see him a different way. Go watch him break down film. Go watch him do it. He's been helping NFL players for years. See, some of these people that's talking football, they don't know it because they're too young. He don't help people that's in the All Hall of Fame now. You said if a microphone was on Sap, people would know. Yeah, but these people don't know. And I'm telling you, he's there for a reason. But the thing is, Prime might need to step out the way because I could tell by the way he be running his practice. Is he's the dictator of the practice. I could tell by the way he's running it. and all the other coaches are falling in line. I could see when he be chewing out the coaches. I need this done. I need this done. No, maybe they need to do it their way, sir. Maybe they need to do it their way. You need to step out the way. I could tell, but when he bring the coaches together, he'll chew them out. I could tell. I could tell. No, sir, you're not calling plays. Step out the way. I could tell even with Shermer. Shermer was scared. I could tell he was scared. I could tell. I'm being real with y'all, dog. These motherfuckers scared. And if I was there, I'm like, yo, Prime, you're not calling plays. Watch out, man. Watch out. Let me call the goddamn offensive plays because you're not calling them. Let me run this how I want to run it. Let me run this practice how I want to run this. You go rock with the DBs or something. Let me rock this, man. Let me put this together. I'm telling you, he need coaches there like that. He don't have them. You need coaches like that. You need coaches to stand on it. Because if you don't stand on it, let me tell you something. It's an old psychology thing. You can know football. You can have a special skill, right? You can have all the knowledge in the world. But if you don't assert yourself, nobody, people they're not gonna feel like you do. Like, for example, I had a special skill. Like, I've been in the science field for a very long time. And if somebody say, well, we need to do it like this, but I know that they need to do it a certain way, right? And I say, no, I think you need to do it like this. Nobody's gonna listen to me because I said I think. No, you gotta step in like, no, 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 no. We're gonna do it like this. Okay? I said, we're gonna do it like this. They be like, why? I said, because I've had experience for over 20 some years. I'm standing on it. No, they have to stand on it with him. I can see it a little bit in practice what he's doing. But nobody's telling him about himself. Nobody is. Like, okay, we're gonna go with it. He said we're gonna do it like this. Okay, let's do it like this. No, maybe you need to do it the way you're doing it. I could tell when he chewed out all the coaches during the game. I remember when he chewed out the defensive coach, how the defensive coach reacted to him during the game. I could tell. They all gave up, fam. And when they all gave up, the players gave up. Yeah, you have to be assertive with him. He's a Leo. You have to be assertive with him. Guys, Leos come off because I'm a Leo. We come off as actually, I don't want to say all that because some people don't believe in that sign shit. So let me not say that. When you have somebody that's very assertive and he has a strong personality like Prime, you got to be willing to argue with him. You have to. You got to be assertive with him because you have to. And then finally he'll think about like, wait a minute, he's standing on it like that. Maybe we need to go this way. Now I'm about to tell you something right now that's very alarming. Sherman wasn't the problem. It's very alarming that I'm saying this. He wasn't the problem. He was scared. So actually he was the problem. He was. He was. He was the problem. Trust me, I've seen some stuff on that team that they may not ever fix it. You may not ever fix it. It's the same thing why Michael Jordan said he wouldn't be a good coach. Michael Jordan said, they're like, Michael, why don't you coach? He said, because I demand too much and I'm stuck in my ways and I want something done a certain way. And that's not going to make a good coach. He got to step out the way, guys. He got to step out the way. I could see it. I saw it when he chewed out the guy during the game, the defensive coordinator, the way that defensive coordinator turned his back on him and the way he looked. That's a problem. That defensive coordinator need to get back in his face. Like, no, we're doing it this way. I'm the defensive coordinator here. We're doing it this way. I think you're wrong. Something happened, guys, because there's been a couple. it's been a couple games, even the Georgia Tech game, when they should have called timeouts and they didn't. That's on the coaching. Somebody needs to tell him. He can't. He may not know. Sometimes he might be looking at something else, and he may not realize that we need a timeout. Somebody need to go to him and say, "Coach, we got 3 timeouts left. In this scenario, we need to call a timeout." Just to let you know. Nobody told him that. That's how I know it's a problem. It's not going to get fixed. It's not. They scared of him. It's not going to get fixed. They at the bottom of the Big 12, fam. It's only going to get fixed if unless he realize it. You don't leave that many timeouts. You know what he said? Oh well, y'all wouldn't have said nothing if we were winning. No, y'all should have called timeouts in certain scenarios. But see, the other coaches are not going to tell you that. They're afraid because you might fire them. They might be afraid for their jobs. But shit, if y'all losing, they gonna get fired any damn way. So they might as well say something to you. There was supposed to be a coach during the game, right? Hey, coach, we got 3 timeouts. In these scenarios, we need to call a timeout, just to let you know. If not, somebody need to be standing near him. Coach, we need to call a timeout. Call timeout. Call timeout. Nobody did that to him. They didn't care, yo. Okay, now y'all see what I'm talking about? I don't give a fuck who we bringing in here. If they don't get that part straight, they're not winning. I could tell by the way he run the practice. He dictating. And they feel like they can't say nothing probably. Straight up, man. I'm real, yo. Straight up, man. And maybe he need to hear that. Maybe he needs to hear that. And now he's like, yeah, you know what? I need to trust him. I need to go with it. And then if don't get me wrong, if he don't like certain schemes, then yeah, he can have a meeting where I don't like this right here. What can we do right here? And they have a meeting about it. But you don't have somebody like Warren Sapp on your team and not use him. He has so much knowledge on way them defenses run. He could be a defensive coordinator. He could. But maybe he's in an environment where he feel like he can't speak up, man. Because he should have been the first one or the defensive coordinator to tell coach to call timeouts. Somebody should have been standing right near him and say, Coach, on that headset, we need to call a timeout. We got 60 seconds left. We need to call a timeout if we don't get the first down. And we need to do a run. We need to throw to the sidelines. We need to throw to the sidelines, and if we don't get it, we need to call a timeout. Somebody should have been standing next to him. Because sometimes the head coach, they might assume that he knew that. He might have been thinking about something else at that time. Because I remember doing one broadcast, even the broad, like, yo, why they not calling a timeout? They taking a long time to set up. Salter could have had 3 shots at the end zone if they had called a timeout. That was in a Georgia Tech game. So he could look. He did good at Jackson State for a reason. But see, the thing is, um, his what do you call it? His defensive coordinator was pretty good. He had a really good defensive coordinator and good offensive coordinator. But the thing is, him and Shador, they're polarizing figures. They had a lot of say so in what was going on. They didn't give a damn if Shermer was there or not. They had a lot of say so. It shouldn't have been that way. They should have coached the fuck out of him. They should have did it a different way. I'm telling you, man. I'm being real with you. He made a mistake. He made a mistake, and it's costing him. You got to let these people, if they're specialists, you got to let them go do their thing. I knew it was something when he chewed out the coach, and then the way the coach reacted to him. That shit was over, yo. And the players see it. Yeah, it's over, bro. That you always could. The only good thing is you can reset for another season. You can always reset because everybody starts at 0-0. So you start with a clean slate. So let's see what they do this year. And I knew another problem. I remember when when Travis was there, when he was hurt, he said put Omarion back in the game. He said it. And he said, I told y'all about him. That's how I knew it was an issue. Coaches, I'm like, yo, it's an issue on that team, bro. He said put him back in. He said, put that man back in. And he said, I told you. That was in a USC game. And then he was coaching Carmani. He was coaching him, like trying to help him. You said the NFL didn't take Shador seriously. Well, he could his all see the thing is with that, he gotta let his play do the talking. Yeah, that defense, I saw a lot of problems. And then what did he say? He said, I remember I never forget with Prime at that thing. He said, this is the last supper. I think he was letting all the coaches go. That's what I thought. He said, this is the last supper. And see, with his attitude and he's a polarizing figure, them coaches ain't gonna say nothing to him, man. They not. The reporters are scared of him. The reporters are. The reporters are scared of him. Prime, it's a problem, bro. You can't have a yes man. You can't have yes men, bro. You're gonna be embarrassed next year because you're getting out coached. You're gonna be embarrassed next year. No matter who you bring on the team, you're gonna get embarrassed. You gotta let these people fly, man. I'm just telling y'all, man. I just feel like somebody got to be real with them instead of making videos like happy go lucky, like everything is all right. Everything's not all right. Everything's not all right. So it's just what it is. That's how I see it. Now, here's the thing. I'm gonna enjoy talking about the game, whether they win or lose or not. It's still gonna be fun. It's still gonna be fun. You know, he still brings a certain level of excitement to Colorado. So that's gonna be fun. But as far as them winning, I'm not thinking none of that, bro. If they win, they win. That's my mentality. If they win, man. You know, so um you gotta be willing to stand on it. You gotta be assertive when it come to him. The reporters wasn't. I could tell the reporters weren't. They didn't ask the right questions. What's up with Juju? He's coming around the mountain when he comes. I would have pressed him more. I said, what does that mean? And then if he said it again, I said, Coach, look, I gotta do my job and you gotta do your job. If you don't want to be here, just end the press conference. If we wasting your time. Somebody need to stand on it, yo. They not standing on it. Shit, do I need to get press credentials? Shit, do I cover the team? Do I need to get press credentials to come up there, man? I'm like, Coach, man, what's up, man? What does that mean? He coming around the mountain when he come. He obviously the best quarterback y'all have. What are you doing? Like, what's up? You know, you gotta get that question because they didn't. They then the guy just accepted that answer. So I know these coaches ain't doing. Man, the coaches ain't doing nothing, yo. They not. See, they had a good squad when Travis and them was there. That's why everything was like, you know what I'm saying? But when they left, Shador not there, now we see what's up. Now y'all got to really stand on it. Because you got people like Travis and Shiloh there and Silman Craig. You don't got to worry about nothing. Especially you had Hood there too. They had Hood guys there too. Imagine having Travis and Hood on the same team. They had Travis and Hood on the same team. And Shadozi. And Shiloh. And Silman Craig. Okay? And Hill Green. And they had Hill Green on that team too. Hill Green. Wait a minute. No, I'm talking. Was that the first year? When did Hood leave? Hold up. He was like from two. Yeah, Hood was there the second year. He was there. Hill Green was there too, I believe. Then you had Hill Green. You had Hood on the same team. You had B.J. Green on that team. Guys, that was the squad. I don't give a damn what kind of coaching you have. You got them players on the team. You gonna win. You gonna win. They had a hell of a squad. Guys, think about this. They had a hell of a squad. Yeah, I know he left last year. I'm talking about the Heisman Trophy year. Was Hood there for the Heisman Trophy year? Do y'all know? I know Hood wasn't there last year. Was he there on the Heisman Trophy year? How about but they had a hell of a squad, guys, for real. They did. Even when they had some deficiencies on defense, it didn't matter because they had enough superstar playmakers to make it happen. They had a really good squad. And they had college premier quarterback. Yeah, Hood was there for the Heisman Trophy year. So imagine Hood on one side, Travis on another side, Hill Green and B.J. Green all on the same team. And I know Hill Green wasn't there last year; he was with Alabama. But just imagine that for the Heisman Trophy year, they actually had B.J. Green, Chidozie. They even had Chidozie, guys, all on the same team. And I give it to them, bro. They really put a good squad. So I'm not worried about them putting a squad together. That's not what I'm worried about. The thing is, the coaches got to be willing to stand on it. I could tell by the way the practice are. I could tell they not they not like, no, coach, we need to do it like this. We need to do it like this, coach. I'm standing on these plays. We got to do it like. But he might not be like, nah, we're not doing that. And they're like, okay, coach, we're not doing that. That might be hurting them. But they had enough people on that team to make up for all of that. They had Benson and they had Cash Cleveland. Yeah, they did. They had a really good squad, dog. Really good squad. Can he do it again? Of course. He can go find some talent. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's gonna take a couple years for them to rebuild this thing the way he wants it. But we'll see. The transfer portal just opened up and they're just getting started. They got some other interviews coming in. But I don't know, man. You got to utilize somebody like Coach Sapp. You got to utilize him a little bit more. You do. You see what Miami doing with Jason Taylor? They got Jason Taylor on that defensive line coach. The Miami Dolphins, Jason Taylor, Hall of Fame, Jason Taylor. Okay, you got to let these coaches fly, man. You got to trust their expertise. I've seen a few games in the season where Marshall Faulk had his arms crossed. Everybody looking crazy. Yeah, you gotta let them fly, bro. Yeah, I know. I had talked about that when Ray Lewis said how many people watching film. They checked out, bro. I could tell. It was just one after one game. They all had got on a live chat and they were looking at each other. I could tell they all checked out. They weren't gonna win another game. When I saw that live chat, I knew they were all leaving. So far, everybody in that live chat is in the portal except for one, and that's what everybody's waiting for to see if he do enter that portal because they're saying that he already said he's not taking a pay cut. So I wouldn't be surprised at some point he enters that portal. If he enter that portal, it's going to go viral. I'm telling you this right now. If he do enter, it's going to go viral. It's going to be a viral moment if he enters that portal. But they were all on that live chat. Every last person on that live chat, they're in the portal. And they were all like kind of talking in code. I don't know if they got chewed out. I'm not sure. Like, I know this is a different day and age. Some of these kids, they can't take getting chewed out. They can't. Yeah, Silman Craig was there too on that team. All in the NFL right now. No, I think he's committed. It's not a matter of him being committed because he works hard in the off season. I'm talking about Seaton. He works very hard in the off season. He puts in the work. You see how he transformed his body. He works really hard. He works really, really, really hard. Um, but he was on that conference call. He was on that live chat when it happened. Staub was on that live chat too. All of them in the portal. All the ones that was on that live chat, they're all in the portal, man. And that was early on in the season. Yeah, man, that was early on in the season. So that's why certain people are behind the scenes are saying that he's not. There's one person that he's not playing the Colorado jersey again, and I heard that there's some heavy negotiation going on with him right now, trying to keep him. And you know that there's other teams around the nation in his ear. Pretty sure of it. No, I don't think he thought Georgia Tech was a sorry team because before the press conference before the game, he gave them props. No, I don't think he thought that. But maybe he kind of, I don't know if he slept on Haynes King. I don't know if that's what he did, but shit, Haynes King was acting like Michael Vick on them, dog. And it wasn't just Colorado. He did it the whole season because he was in the running for the Heisman. He was in talks of the Heisman Trophy, remember? He maybe not, he maybe wasn't a finalist, but he was like, in the running for it. Yeah, he was really good as we thought he was. But now for him to say that this team was better than Travis and them, that when he said that, I was like, wait a minute now, because I started looking at the second year team, I call it the Heisman Trophy year, because it was a very celebrated year. And I really appreciate that year. That's why I'm going back to it. That I really appreciated Travis and them there, man. I really did. That was a really celebrated year. Um, I really miss Shiloh out there. He was a presence out there, man. He really was, man. He really was. He was such a presence. And I appreciated Hood because he was on the team. And then he went on to Tennessee. Now he's off to the NFL. He was on that team. Silman Craig. Come on, man. Hill Green. Levanta Bentley. Come on, man. Arden Walker. Chidozie. Man, come on, man. That team was rolling. If they had kept that team together one more year, they would have won the Big 12 title. That's how close they were. They would have won the Big 12. Yep. Damn, I appreciated that year, man. And then they all left. I say, yeah, this is going to be a rebuilding season. But then he said that, nah, this team is better than the last year's team. I said, what? Okay. I was souped up when he said that. They didn't implement anything he said. I see, but why should he? Like, he's the defensive coordinator. he's not gonna really listen to nobody. I mean, he's a defensive coordinator. Like, I'm not giving a defensive coordinator pointers because I'm not a defensive coordinator. You get what I'm saying? I can't. How am I gonna give Rob Livingston? I can't do that. I'm not a defensive coordinator. I'm looking for him to give me some pointers. Like, okay, let's see what Rob doing. Okay. I don't know. I just stay in my lane. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to get on call a defensive coordinator. I think you need to be doing this. I can't do all that. It all goes back to practice, bro. You got to let these offensive coordinators do their thing, man. I would have loved to see him run that ball a little more, but like he did at Liberty. But now he's off to the NFL. He declared himself for the NFL draft. Do you guys think he'll get picked up on a roster? Like, what do you think? Since he made himself, what happens if he make it on a roster? He just kill it, yo. What if he do that? I hope he do it. You know what I'm saying? I always like these people trying to realize their dreams. I'm all for it. I'm not a hater. Like, I hope he do make it. The quarterback, Colorado. He declared himself eligible for the NFL draft. Yeah, he put himself saying he getting ready, he gonna prepare for the NFL draft. So yeah, Salter. Yeah, he made an announcement that he's headed to the NFL. You say you doubt it, but what if he go kill it though? What if he just go kill it? I like underdog stories. I do. That'll be crazy. That'll be like, whoa. Like he must have, I don't know. But I think we're gonna see the more news coming out. It was somebody else they just picked up. I just saw it. Another defensive guy. You said his film at CU was terrible. I don't think he had no more eligibility. Yeah, I think he ran out of eligibility. That's it. You said they didn't scheme around for him. So this new offensive coordinator, he coming in implementing his new situation. So hopefully, he's really assertive. Like, no, we doing this. This is how we run it. We'll see in practice when Bucky film in practice. We'll see how they operate in practice. That's when you're gonna see it. We're gonna see like if he's really taking control of that practice and getting the schemes ready. We're gonna see. Because if he just come in, like, all right, yeah, okay, we'll do it this way, coach. Okay, coach, you're right. We'll do it this way, coach. Okay, coach, they ain't gonna win. I'm telling you. He needs somebody like, nah, he need a visionary. That type of person, like a visionary, like we gotta do it like this. Because you gotta go with your talent, whatever your talent has, like I don't know. I know when I see it. Yeah, they should have tailored the offense to his skill. But so my question to you is, right, is it his fault? So now that he's declaring for the NFL, who say he's not going to blow up? We don't know yet. Maybe it was on the coaching that it didn't work out for him. Maybe maybe it was the coach's fault. We don't know yet. We about to find out. Because if he goes sit up there and blow it up and do all this, then we gonna see. We don't know. It could have been. It couldn't have been on the quarterback. It might have been their fault. But the thing is, if it's their fault, they got to fix it. So that means the new offensive coordinator coming in, he has to be assertive. Okay, this is the talent we have. This is the personnel we have. We're gonna run it like this. You know? Yeah, they do watch. Bucky do watch, man. He said it. He said, Max is chill. I'm 100. You know what I'm saying? I keep it 100. Like, I don't want to see them fail like that, man. I look for the little things to try to correct. It's like the little things, because all you got to do is tweak some stuff. All you got to do is tweak some stuff, and then go from there. Yeah, he did coach Donovan McNabb. Yeah, damn, you remember that? Yeah, he did actually. So I don't know, man. It's like it could be like a tweak because it's like, okay, if Coach see that, that's why he probably brought this guy in. You know what I'm saying? We got a whole new offense. This guy gonna bring some of his people, which he did already. The running back is coming, so he is bringing some of his players. He got one so far. He came from Sacramento State, right? If I'm not mistaken. Where did he come from? Did he come from Sac State? Because we just got a running back from Sacramento State. Okay, Sacramento State. So we have a running back from Sac State. So that means more of his players are coming. Because if you go look at Sacramento State, look at all the players in the portal. Coach Prime has a plethora of talent that he can look at now in that portal. Because he got the guys from Sac State. Why can't they come? I'm assuming most of them coming, right? Okay, so boom. So you got them. They already acclimated to this coach already. So all he got to do is just go pick off talent. Say, I already know the wide receivers are going to be good. That's not an issue. I already know he's going to go get some good defensive backs. That's not an issue. And then he revamped the defensive line, tweaked that a little bit, get some linebackers. They should be ready to go. Um, it's not that, finding talent is, they always find sleeper talent. You know what I'm saying? That they're gonna always find. But like I said, I think he gonna bring the people from Sacramento State. He already have a quarterback, so that's not an issue. Ponder might be a good backup because he's still there. Dominic Ponder is still there. He's 6'5", whatever. He's still there. They might bring in another quarterback, just to improve that room, make it, competitive. And what else they need? They already brought the running back. They have what's his name still there. He didn't enter the portal. What's the running back name? He didn't enter the portal. He's still there. Um, Michael Welch. Michael Welch is still there. I like Michael Welch. He's still there. And then bring in this running back. And yeah, they just need to beef up that defensive line and a couple linebackers and add on to the offensive line to improve the room. That's it. And they should be ready to go. And then just let his offensive coordinator fly, man. He gotta let him fly. You know what I'm saying? Almost like kind of like be like the CEO of the program. Like let him fly. You know what I'm saying? Don't let him not be afraid to implement his style and do what he got to do. And I don't see a problem with the defensive coordinator. I don't. I don't see a problem. You notice I never talk about him. I don't see a problem with him. You know what I'm saying? I don't see a problem with Mathis either. I don't. Uh, I think just the coaches need to be more assertive. That's it. And I think they should be fine. And then, next couple years, they should be ready to do something. Now, Prime, as far as the practice is concerned, he don't show much. They don't show much in the practice. They don't. Prime doesn't show much. He just show enough just to keep us excited. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit, just enough to keep it entertainment. That's what I like about them. They're the only ones really doing it like that. Um, so that's always going to be there. I like that part. And then add it with the extra element of Bucky going to the NFL now. That's really good. But as far as I just think they just need to make that one little tweak. Let the coaches fly a little bit. Coach Sapp has a plethora of knowledge on those defensive schemes. Maybe have him help out with the scheming and all that stuff because he does know how to do it. That's pretty much it, man. That's pretty much it. I know some people were talking about they have a lot of coaches always leaving. That's how it is around the nation. Coaches, they want to move up. You'll have one coach moving around, and that's just how it is in the coaching thing. That's just the way it is. Coach is going to move around. Coach is going to get opportunities. Like Falk got the head coaching I'm surprised about that though, but I know he's from there, so maybe I'm not too surprised because that's his hometown. But that's a pretty prestigious position he has at Southern. It's pretty good. Um, but maybe that was his aspirations. He wanted to be a head coach. In order to do that, you got to get your feet wet somewhere. So he did. But I do like the offensive line coaches we have there now. I don't think that's a problem because they did really well last year with that offensive line they brought in. They had a running game, but stuff happens, man. I feel like they had an off year. Stuff just happens, bro. Yeah, I know Stefanski could be out. I wonder who they're gonna bring in. I know there was some talks about Bill Belichick. I don't even know why he went to college. If he wanted to still coach, he should have just waited and got back in the NFL somewhere. If that's what he wanted to do. North Carolina wasn't the right fit. Not at his age. Yeah, I'm about to get ready for that now. Shador, 27 minutes. Oh, speaking of Shador, this is his last game for the season. I'm really happy that he got all these games under his belt, right? Because so Shador, he can work out in the off season knowing that he got some games under his belt instead of sitting the bench. So he got some work. He got some real work. You know what I'm saying? And he's improving every time he go out there. So I know he's happy about that. You know what I'm saying? Going into the off season. Because at least when him and Cam work out, he could say I was in the game too. You know what I'm saying? I know Sac State is coming. They all in the portal. I see him. Yeah, Sac State players all in that portal. Go look. They all in the portal. So guess where they going? They coming to follow their coach. And that's gonna make Prime he need the coaches to let him, you know what I'm saying? He need to make him let him look good. You know what I'm saying? That's what he need, them type of coach. Like, coach, I got you. Trust the scheme, I got you, coach. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. He needs some coach to tell him, like, no, we need to take a timeout, coach. He needs somebody right next to him. That's what he needs. All coaches have that. They have somebody, hey, timeout's coming up. You got 3 left. You got to remind them. because he's seeing everything at one time. He may not remember. Nobody's perfect, man. You just gotta have. He gotta have them. He gotta have them alphas on his side, man. Somebody gotta be there with him. That's it. And he should be fine. Um, yeah, he should be all right. He's good though, man. He's like a player's coach. Um, that's what I do like about him. He's a player's coach. He compliments the players during the game. He's right into it. I like that. But shit, when shit hit the fan this year, it really did hit the fan. But it's all good. I still like watching the game though. I still like watching it. You know what I mean? So I think it's exciting. Like added with the extra element, Bucky going to the NFL. It's exciting. But I'm glad that Shador is getting his feet wet because that's what he needed. That's what he needed. And he'll be all right. Then he gonna have an off season workout, knowing that he played. It's good going into his second year. You gotta think about it. How good was he? For him, it's not many NFL positions to go around for a quarterback, but he's actually playing. That lets you know how good he was. So Jimmy Horn is gonna be another one that's gonna be good. The coaches there like him. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the fans like him too. He was signing autographs. The kid was like, "Hey Jimmy, could you show the watch?" He said, "Oh, the Shador? Hell, okay." And he did it real quick. Yeah, he's one of the players the kids like. They like Jimmy too. I like what LeJontay doing. He getting a little bit of burn. They good, man. You said to say Dylan was better than Shador. I mean, we've been watching Shador, so we know that he was better. It's just, I don't know, man. They just, like I told you, they would just set out to do something. I don't know. I don't know what they would set out to do with Shador. I know one thing. He a tough guy. He be taking them hits. He get right back up and keep going. Shador don't be messing around, man. And he got bigger. You know what I'm saying? When he came back to Colorado, man, wasn't that crazy when he came back? He was at the airport. He came back as a NFL quarterback. And he looked like it too. He looked the part. He looked the part. And I like to see that. He came back bigger. Like compare him to the quarterbacks there. You see how he tower over him? Like he's way bigger. You know what I'm saying? Straight up NFL, man. Yeah, they knew Dylan wasn't better, bro. Um, I honestly, in the offseason, I don't think the Browns are trading him. I don't. I don't know what they're gonna do. We'll see what they do in the draft. And they still got Deshaun, so I don't know what's happening. But I don't really think they trading Shador. I don't. Um, I would like to see him in New York though, with the Giants. Because the only reason why I say that, I know what you guys are saying. Well, Max, they already got a quarterback. Yeah, but he keep getting concussions, man, and it's not good. I don't know if he don't know how to slide. Like, what is his problem? Why is he getting all these concussions? So I'm a little worried about him, Jackson Dart. I'm a little worried about him. Um, but the Giants are definitely going to be more than likely trying to get another quarterback. That's what I heard. If they trade him and be for draft picks, well, that means he'll be going to a team that needs a quarterback. Um, I would say that one of the spots is the Jets. Um, But I know what people saying. Damn, Max, he going from one team going to the Jets. I know, but at least they could build a team. The Jets are always known for a good offensive line. They're always known for that, and they can build around them. But I don't think that's the likely landing spot either, to be honest with you. I would like to see him in New York, but because I'm living here and I'm not too far from the stadium, and I would be going to every game, but that's just for me being, selfish. That's selfish reasons why I wanted to come to New York, but I don't think it's a likely. I mean, I would like to see him with the Jets. I'm being honest with you, man. I really would, but if he goes to the Jets, he's not leaving. I'm just letting y'all know that he'll be there for his whole career, win or lose. They will not let him go because they like the attention he brings, and I know how that family is. But where do I see Dante going? I'm not sure yet. I don't know, man. Sky's the limit for him. Sky's the limit for Shador too. It just we'll see. We'll see. But now we know he can play in the NFL. This is not up for debate. He can play in the NFL. So all those questions been answered. You know what I'm saying? Um, he got that under his belt now. I like where he parked. At the end of the game, he parks where the fans park at. You notice that? I like him doing that. It's like he's around the fans. They used to him too. I could see it. They be waiting for him. I kind of like that about him. You know what I'm saying? He parks like way away from the stadium, and the kids be waiting for him. Man, he's a fan favorite. He really is. I really honestly think the fans they don't want him to leave. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know about Kevin Stefanski though. I don't know what's the status on him, but I've heard rumors of Bill Belichick and rumors of other coaches. So we'll see. Also, I'm going to be seeing if Myles Garrett get that sack record today. What do y'all think? You think he can get it today? So I'm going to be watching for that to see if he can do it. Shador, I'm not worried about. Not worried about his play. He going to do what he do. Um, yeah, I'm just happy for him that he got his opportunity. You know what I mean? People sitting up there trying to doubt, like he can't sit up there and play in the damn NFL. They crazy. For me, it was a given. I'm just like, damn, he should have been in the first round, but neither here nor there. But yeah, he damn sure can play. Now other teams can see it. They see that he can play. So I'm happy he got his opportunity. You said what the Steelers did to keep Myles Garrett off that record was suicidal. What did they do? They made sure he didn't get that record on. That's how Mike Tomlin is though. Mike Tomlin, like, he not getting that record on us. He said, I don't give it. Look, Mike Tomlin, I don't give a damn if we lose this game, but he's not getting that record on us. He's not doing that. Okay. So that was a part of their conversation, I'm sure, because that's how Mike Tomlin is. You're not getting that record on us. Yo, you remember, speaking of the record, you remember Mark Gaston, was it Mark Gastineau that went up to Brett Favre? Brett Favre was at a signing event, right? And Mark Gastineau, he has some issues or whatever. Like, the rigors of football and different things like that. So he talked real slow. He went up to Brett, said, "You hurt me. You let him take that sack on you. You fell down so Michael Strahan could get it. You hurt me." Because Michael Strahan broke Mark Gastineau's record. And he Brett thought he was playing at first, but he wasn't. He was like, "You hurt me, Brett. You really hurt me." And Brett was like, "Damn, that was damn near 20 years ago. Like, what the fuck?" Yeah, he low key wanted to fight him, but he couldn't because physically he can't. He said, "You hurt me, Brett. You hurt me, Brett." Yo, you see Brett's face? You know what I'm saying? Did you see Brett? Like, he's like, "You hurt me, Brett." Brett was looking like, "Let me get away," and the dude was like, "Come on, Brett, let's go," because I think he was gonna try to swing on him. He said, "Pons, a dog. His height doesn't matter. His technique is what's killer." But here's the thing, man. Hindsight is 2020, man. We didn't get him. They said coach like somebody 5'11" or more, so it is what it is. Um, we work from there. But yeah, Deep Pons was pretty good. But I like the receivers they brought in, man. Why do you be finding these receivers at, man? They always get the right receivers. They always do. So them receivers they got coming in right now, yeah, man. Especially one from Miami, Ohio. He kind of is reminiscent. His stats are reminiscent of Wester. It's reminiscent a little bit. He kind of the same. Well, Wester is listed at 5'10". He's listed at 5'9". But they never have a problem with receivers ever. So just don't even worry about the receiver room. They got that. Anyway, guys, I'm out of here. Enjoy the game. Shador last game of the season. We'll see if Myles Garrett gets the sack record. I'll be back later on. I might come back at halftime to see like where Shador is at. We'll see. To see if he get the sack. See if Myles get the sack record. um, yeah, man, that's it, man. Now after the season, now Shador is preparing. He gonna rest a little bit. You know how Shador is gonna probably go to Italy or some shit. You know what I'm saying? You know how Shador be doing. Go rest a little bit. Get with Daryl. And start getting ready, preparing for the off season. But he gonna have to rest up a little bit, prepare for because he just finished the NFL. He gonna rest up a little bit, get some treatment. You know what I'm saying? Get with Daryl. Get prepared for the next season. Yeah, I remember Kevin Coleman. I remember him. Jackson State. You see, he's a senior at Mizzou now. You said Shador bougie, but he stayed throwing that ball. Yeah, he gonna be in Italy somewhere. He probably gonna be or in the south of France. You know how he do. He gonna be in the south of France. With his bags. As a matter of fact, he said he got his bag stolen. He said that's what they did steal. They stole his bags. He'll get some more. But you know how he do. He probably do some modeling or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Let me leave Shador alone, man. Let me leave him alone, man. Yo, tell me, I think they heard it. I clowned him. You remember when he was in France? Where was they at? Were they in France or were they in England? You remember he had the modeling with Louis Vuitton? He had that little, what do you call that? The little handbag he had, the white one. What is that called, yo? I said, yo, this dude, yo. Yo, what was that, bro? That white bag he had, yo. What do you call that? What do you call that, bro? And he feels some type of way about it. He said, "Nah, yo, that's called a something." I called it a pocketbook. Yo, he had a man purse, and I know he don't like that. He don't like people talk about him with the pocketbook, right? Um, yo, remember, and he had the puffy coat on, and then he had the little purse. Yo, but I give it to him though. He is a tough guy. Yo, he's a tough guy on the field though. He is. He's a tough guy. But Shador, look, bro, look. I ain't trying to clown. Don't nobody clip this and send it back to Prime. Don't do that. Because you know somebody did that already, right? I'm sitting up there clowning. Yo, I'm sitting up there clown. They clipped it and sent it to Bucky or something, man. And you see how people do me? He said, "Oh, Max, cool, man. You know he's old dude. He cool. You know what I'm saying? Leave him alone. Leave the old dude alone, yo. He old school with it. He thinking it's a yo that it's a purse, dog, bro. It's a purse. But he's a tough guy on the field, so I give him that. I give him that. Okay, with his pocketbooks. He be having pocketbooks. Shador, you be having pocketbooks, man. But it's all good. And I'm not even gonna get on Stephon Diggs. Guys, did you see him coming to the game? He had on some leather pants. He had Chanel hand warmers. Dog, I almost hit the floor. Bro, I almost hit the floor, dog. He had a fur coat with matching Chanel hand warmers, dog. Lord have mercy. What's wrong with these players, man? What's wrong with these players, man? That's Stephon is worse. He worse with it. But anyway, let me leave these players alone, dog. That's their style. You know what I'm saying? That's fashion. That's the kind of book, the pocketbook Shador had. That's the one that the old women used to have in church. They used to have they give you your mints. Your grandmother give you a mints out her, but that's what he had, dog. That's what yo, don't do not clip this and send it to him, yo. Don't do this because somebody did that before. You know what I'm saying? You know how Shador is with his bags. Don't do it. Don't do it. Do not do this. Do not do it, yo. Do not do it. Don't clip this and send it to him. Because he already feel a certain type of way about his bags. But anyway, that's Shador, man. Shout out to shout out to Shador. Shout out to Shador, man. He gonna have a good game today, and that's it. He gonna have a good game. But he's a model. Shador's a model. Shiloh a model too. So we gonna see what Shador do in the offseason. He gonna get a little modeling in. You know how he do. And but shout out to him, man. Shout out to Shador. He's a good kid. He's a good kid. He's a tough guy. You know what I'm saying? So that's all that matters. But I like what Shiloh is doing. I'm gonna close on that. I like what Shiloh is doing because I like his program. He's gonna be really successful. He's gonna be like kind of like a destroying. You know how destroying YouTube is really successful. That's what Shiloh gonna be doing. He do a lot of food stuff too. I like that, and he got the personality for it. So shout out to him. But Bucky, he doing the NFL stuff now. He getting ready for the off season. He probably gonna take a break too. Bucky be having them purses too. Don't tell him that. Don't clip this. He do. He be having purses now. He call them camera bags. All right, Bucky, call them camera bags. But he gonna be doing some stuff in the off season. Um, yeah, man, it's gonna be exciting. You got some players. When they have their first meeting at Colorado when he signed everybody, we're gonna be talking about that. Their first official meeting, and then it's gonna be summer conditioning. This thing gonna winter conditioning, and then you got summer, so it's gonna happen really fast. So, but anyway, guys, I'll catch you guys later, and enjoy the game. All right, y'all, peace.